Righto guys, I'll explain how the timeline works in AgriMap. So all our records as we create them sit in date order over on the left hand side here. Now if we scroll down through these records, you'll see the timeline for the farm. So if you see at the top of each record, it shows you the tag that you've put onto the record. For instance, here on the 31st of October, we'd filled the tractor, the 6830, with diesel. This record here shows us making baleage in the Cache Creek paddock, and we'd added the tags baleage and fertiliser input because we'd put some fertiliser on afterwards. Below that record the same day, we had cut and baled 70 bales of baleage in the turkey paddock. If every record that's related to the map has a map button on the right hand side, we can click that to view the paddock that it's related to. So if we want to search our information, once we have records in our program, we can search paddock information by opening our map by clicking on paddocks and viewing the records inside the paddock. So if we click on Cache Creek here, what that does, it filters that main timeline that we were looking at there before, and it brings back just the information related to the Cache Creek paddock. So we looked at this record before, it's making the baleage. Okay, previous that, checking for horehound. Previous that we had a induction for our contractor to put fertiliser on the spring. We've got a fert input for that paddock, and do notice that fertiliser input also went on to these paddocks here, and by clicking map, that'll show you the area that mix also went onto. So many different records in here. You get the idea of how that works. So we might want to filter this information out and only find the fertiliser inputs for this paddock. To do that, we go to our tags or our categories, and we go down and we find our tag fertiliser input and select that. By selecting that, we just isolate the records related to fertiliser and this paddock, and that'll give you the full history of this paddock for many years of what's happened here. Nice and simple. If we wanted to see maybe when this paddock was in crop last, for us it would be Swedes. If we go down and click our Swede tag, last time this paddock was in Swedes was in 2012. This was the brew that went on, plus the seed that we used. Time before that was 2003, and the time before that was 2002. So we use the tags to separate out the information, so we're only looking at the piece that we want to look at. We click Cache Creek off and look into the tags a little bit further. We might want to know what animal health records we've had for the year. Sheep treatments, so this might be an audit. If we click on sheep treatments, our last sheep treatment on the farm was tailing. We've got some photos of the vaccine and the scabby that we'd use, plus our tellies. Previous that we'd drenched the rams, and previous that it was the in-lamb hoggets had a 5-1 before they were set stocked. So an audit date, that's what we'd audit through. We go backwards and forwards, we can open the attachments for the auditor and get their batch and expiry dates off these containers. We can isolate mobs. Okay, so we're looking at sheep treatments, but we want to narrow it down, and we might want to just know what the sheep treatments for the hoggets are. We add one more tag, and it only brings us back the sheep treatments for the hoggets. So we use tags to filter our information in a really simple, easy way. And you're the master of creating your own tags. If we go into farm settings and go to tags, you'll find the list of generic tags that we've set up for you, and we suggest that you go through and edit and delete the ones that don't apply to your operation straight away. And to create new tags, we go to create tag, we write the tag in the box here, and then we add the tag to the appropriate group. So if we're going to select stock class, that would be Tudus, or it might be R1 heifers. If we want to create new groups, hit tag groups and write in the box here, or edit the ones that you don't want. If for some reason we haven't tagged something correctly, we can use our search box here. Now this is a little bit like a Google search for your farm, and you can pick on keywords. So we might want to know just the 5 and 1 records. If we go 5 in 1, as soon as we write that in there, it'll search back underneath these tags, hoggets and sheep treatments, and it'll find all the 5 and 1 records related to that mob. If we go in here and click off hoggets, it'll bring back every time that we've ever put 5 and 1 or used 5 and 1 on farm. We might want to try a different type of search here, and if we just get rid of the tag sheep treatments, and if we search a word Roundup, it'll pull back any time that we've used Roundup on the farm. Simple, fantastic way of searching your information. And what we've found, farmers always tend to write their records in the same way. So we can find information on crops or stock by using the search box.